all of them, hopefully. And there he is. How about that? Big shout out to one of my friends here, Grant B, one of our longtime students, my dear friend, I should say. And he's been out all week. Been missing him. Great to have him back. How about that? So big shout out to Grant. Great to see him in particular. Great to have all of us back on social, though. Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. So with that said, let's hop right to it here. So SPY has been kind of holding here near the highs. It's been grinding on up across the afternoon. I've been a pessimist here across the day. I thought the markets were going to get smashed once again. I was expecting the lower high or a head fake and then a huge drop. Well, hey, still not ruling that out just yet, but at this stage, even I got to kind of yank my own leash here and say, all right, let's follow the trend, look at the lows, follow the trend off the lows there. And, if that breaks or we get lower highs off that, then, that's different. But yeah, we'll follow the S&P, the SPY into the afternoon. SI, Silvergate, made a huge pop earlier. I want to go over this trade at least to begin. We do have our phase 2 class, I just said a moment ago, coming up at 3:05 Eastern time. Rich will post the link for that coming up here in just a bit. But this SI trade before class started, Fausto had called it out really quickly off the resistance at first off 125. It broke above that, held it as support. From there, took off. It was a great trade and just kept on giving, really. I mean, heading into class time, it ended up kind of going sideways, but then broke higher. So it gave us a lot more for what we were expecting. And then now at this point here, it looks like it's definitely kind of flattened out a lot further, lower highs. And heading into the close, it's possible it makes one more little push. It definitely trades good liquidity. We're familiar with this stock. It's just the direction now is definitely sideways with the lower highs here. So, if it breaks below the VWAP right off that 188, 187 area, it could definitely lead to that bigger pullback. So, I'll put this on our side list. I'll come back to it just at the end. All right, so with that, let's just continue. We'll go from top to bottom. This was on our list. This was on the screen to begin, at least to start, but we'll just keep it going here. NAAS, NAS Technology. I'm not familiar with this stock, but actually here, it's actually holding near the highs, trying to push back up towards 6. Let's check the daily chart here pretty quickly. The order book's a little skimpy, so I'd be careful, with that. Let me just double check news for right now. I don't know if this is a buyout or not. Yeah, there's no headline on the stock, if anything. All right, you know what? I'm a little wary of it, if anything, for right now. I'll kind of put it on our side list with the SI. I like the SI a little bit more, even though that looks a little bit more flat. Just that one we're more familiar with, at least. So, don't need to, put out a big list here for a Friday. I'm still kind of hesitant of the move up, actually, across the market. So, if we get a pullback, it would be a better day to short then. RBOT trying to make a recovery from yesterday's move. Even this is, it's not really moving that well right now. RNW, same deal. And keep it going here, folks. For a Friday afternoon, you got to be picky and choosy, just like a Monday morning, pretty much, right? Now, this IBRX, don't get me wrong, it's slow. But looking at the 5-minute chart, it's definitely been on a pretty nice tear across the late morning into right now. It took a huge hit from the end of last year when it was at 750 or right around that area, all the way down to sub 1. So in that sense, I don't mind it. I mean, it's a little slow for my personal liking, but I rather this compared to the other two we kind of put on our side list so far. And BRDS, that's a cheapie there. I should have even seen that there. What else we got across the gainer side? Really not a whole lot that looks great. I mean, we got Boyle ETF here. So this ended up making a pretty nice move earlier across the day and now trying to break a new high once again. Big level off of 417. So if it holds above that, then this is in play. It's been trying to hold above it across the afternoon. It's been choppy. It's been wishy-washy off of it. And, just before ended up breaking right over that level, led to a pretty good run. It's an ETF. So if you have Bookmap, then it definitely makes it a lot easier for you to try and figure out your footing on this and get your levels right. So that's why I have the line here at 417. I had a trader that was catching this right place, wrong time, and it's just a matter of trying to get it over the level. So right here, prior to 2 o'clock, or rather shortly after, ended up breaking above it, led to a better push at the time. Let's hope that that could finally become support now. You got the FUBO trade FUBO. Not going anywhere. FFWM. This one's actually at the highs. Order book checks out actually on this one. It looks like a tight spread. Uh, you know what? There's no real big iceberg order on it. It took a huge hit though from really just a few days ago or like a week and a half ago at that. So there could be some good recovery room on this, right? Hmm, I'll kind of go through all the sideless stocks at the end here, add this to them. Got to be picky and choosy. I got a couple of us saying Vorb made 50% there, Tim. You made 50%? That's excellent. Nice run so far. I mean, hey, cheapy stock, but it's pushing up towards 80 cents. There's a chance maybe it can make the full complete gap fill up towards $1. That would be a home run for that type of trade. So, I'll come back to this even. Normally, we don't really tend to trade the stocks below $1 unless if they're like pushing up kind of like this, if not even sharper. So, you know what? I'll add this to our side list there. SOXS, not doing much right there either. ETF. Not much is looking too great altogether. That's the thing. That's where you can see me add that Vorb to our list and at the end of it here. All right. Really, that's it. So let's hop over to the loser side right now. I mean, really, that's all I got so far on the gainer side. So if there's anything else looking good on the way up, type it in the chat board. We'll look at AI, but I know that totally dumped off. You got the note trade from yesterday. What goes up comes back down twice as fast. I mean, if it's not twice as fast, it's coming back down. So, ended up pulling back a lot here. So I'm going to pass on that. Probably pass on all of these others. I mean, they're hard to borrow and they're really cheap, most of them, like below $1, most of these. It's easy for me to kind of like just glance over that and fish through. NEO, not doing much there. Got Mara. If you could short Mara, maybe. I mean, it dropped off pretty nicely from before. Rite Aid, not doing much there. SOXL semiconductor ETF. So if the markets do pull back, then this could be a pretty good opportunity. Is down over 6%. Very liquid, might I say. It's like kind of like me focused on UVXY and Boyle from earlier this morning. That's what I was, kind of looking at in pre-market. Then certainly after the open, I was looking at the UVXY at first. Now Boyle, of course, is on our main list. You know what? I mean, it's flat, so it might look pretty ugly, but in anticipation of a move up or down either way across the board within like the S&P and the Nasdaq, this should make some sort of decisive move for the final hour, right? It's kind of like one of those situations, if not now, when, right? So, it looks dead, but it is shortable. If it ends up holding lower highs and snapping lower, that could be a good short, and especially if the markets pull back there, or, otherwise maybe you can kind of just make a nice dead cat bounce pushing over 1650. So SOXL semiconductor ETF, like when AMD, NVIDIA trades, it moves in similarity with this. So I'm not going to put those two on our main list, especially when they're as flat as could be. So I'd rather trade that. All right, got Array, ARRY. It's been a pretty volatile stock this week, right? I mean, it's been on our side lists here and there, been on our main list, a couple times. Kind of flat right now. So, again, nothing really too special right home about a whole lot of these different trades here this afternoon. It's kind of my thought behind it. All right, so this is where I need your help. For all of us on LinkedIn, Facebook Live, YouTube, and for all of us inside the live trading room, Tim, Franny, Michael, Grant, John, Leda. Great to have Grant back once again. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd want me to check out, anything that you'd want me to look at. Actually, in honor of Grant, gold's been pretty strong, or at least it was earlier this week. And looking at NUGT, just kind of meddling around there. I mean, it's having a positive day at least and closing out the week hopefully pretty nicely. We've been following AG, Grant. We've been following the silver stock, AG. I mean, it had a huge gap down earlier this week, made a big recovery the last two. And then here we are today. It's like kind of meddling around, same type of move, like right off 650 there. So nothing really too particular about it. All right, checking the chat board right now here from Franny from earlier, GBNH. My dyslexia is tripping me up today. Wow, yeah, this thing ended up just making a sudden pop out of nowhere. And when I talked to you about, hey, we normally don't trade a stock below $1 unless if it's like really popping, Well, this was below a dollar before it got halted, and then since the open, it's been holding over a dollar, thankfully. And hey, if there's nothing else that really looks that attractive, should this at least hold and not make lower highs, lower lows, then there's a chance for more eyeballs to catch on to this and for this to be an even better trade, actually. So it's already up 114%. And yes, for right now, I would look for a break under, then back over a dollar. In fact, this could be actually a pretty good opportunity for us to focus on in class coming up ahead here, folks. At 3:05 Eastern time, we're going to be talking all about time and sales again in relation to going long and buying a stock, live market-based class. So we're going to go over a couple of different levels here, namely why it's holding over a dollar so well here. And even if it dips below a dollar, probably otherwise this would be your landing spot. But yeah, good call for any. I like this one. GBNH just for the meantime here. If it totally tanks, then obviously we'll kind of write it off. But yeah, good call. I like it. Check out AI really quickly. AI, it's not going much of anywhere right now. Had a big move early this morning, pulled back quite a bit. I wasn't able to get the shares to short it. So if anyone was able to short that, it was actually a better short than it was long, it seems today. But yeah, definitely flat here for right now. You got ONCS. What happened here? Out of nowhere, a sudden pop. I just caught this right from my own scanner on Benzinga. So trading over 500,000 shares right now. I mean, the more time goes on, it'll trade more. So good start, especially off the pop here. Good order book, good liquidity so far. Hopefully more joins coming up. Hopefully tiers get thicker on level 2. But yeah, for right now, I'll add this. All right, what else we got here on the loser side, maybe from Benzinga? I don't really see much that looks familiar. Maybe like a plug or like an upstart or BBIO. Nah. Nope. I think that we're at the bottom of the barrel here, folks. So not much else really looking too great for right now. Last call for all of us inside the live trading room. Anything I missed? Nah, I think I'm good. All right, let me just check out the side list stocks I wrote down, and we'll kind of just wrap up from here. So there goes SI. Ended up pulling back. It broke below the VWAP right there, right off 187, 186. Definitely not looking as good right now. Hey, if it ends up popping up by like 3 o'clock in 15, 20 minutes, then, maybe then at that point, put more of a focus on it. But follow the direction. I'd say that first. Same with NAS here. It's not going anywhere. Kind of just want to look back on that one. FFWM, it's holding. It's holding right now. Not really trading a whole lot of volume per minute, though. That's kind of my gripe on it. Hopefully more joins. I don't mind putting this on our main list in hopes of it, but yeah, if it doesn't make that big move that you're looking for, then don't try and force it. And then finally, the VORB trade. You know what? I'll add it too. Why not? Bit of a funky list here we're putting out here, folks, heading into the close. I mean, hey, that's where I'd say it's as good of a day, if anything, to be a gold student. Hey, if you're a gold or platinum or even diamond student here at CTU, of course, you folks know that you have access to the Phase 2 stock course coming up at 3:05 Eastern time. So with that said, I look forward to seeing all of us just coming up in class. For all of us on social media, enjoy the weekend. Any questions that you got from me, feel free to shoot me a quick email. I always like to post my email here at the end of these streams, Josh at CTU Trading. But otherwise, if you're interested in joining us just coming up for next week inside our live trading room for commentary, just go right down to the link on the green banner below the stream right there. You'll see it coming up very shortly. Look to sign up, just get started right there on a week-long trial. We look forward to having you there with us. But otherwise, just for all of us just coming up in class, I look forward to seeing you there just coming up in a bit. Take care.